So here's the practical tip. Start today lowering your expectations. Do not look for the ideal man. Do not look for your soulmate. Do not look for your marriage mate. Look to have a fun time, whatever that would mean for you. Okay, and you have to find what will create a fun time. So you're going to just say, okay, a man with a magical power told me I'm not going to meet my soulmate for a year from now. But in the meantime, I need to practice all my skills for recognizing and enjoying and sustaining the relationship of my dreams with my soulmate. But it's not going to happen for a year. So forget about that. And what's the homework to do? The homework is to be busy practicing relationship skills with men. Testing, trying, practicing, and creating a series of positive dating experiences. That's the key. It's up to you to create a series of positive dating experiences. If you're looking for your soulmate and you have this neediness inside, your hormones are out of balance, and you're looking for your soulmate, you will always be disappointed if you haven't found your soulmate. So you'll create a series of disappointing experiences. And my point to you is that if you're coming from a place of neediness, you won't recognize your soulmate anyway. He has to earn that before you recognize your soulmate. Don't, love at first sight. Okay, here's what love at first sight is. If it's accurate, if it possibly is the right guy, you probably will not feel sexual attraction right away. When you're with the right person for you and you're not coming from neediness, then what will happen is your first attraction will not be sexual. It will be interest. It will be mental attraction. You'll be right where you are in your head. And you go, I find him fascinating. I love talking with him. I love sharing with him. Then you'll start to feel safe with him. And then he'll do things for you and you'll start to feel a bond with him because he did something and you felt good. I'll give you a little example. I was a friend. I have a bunch of male friends, and one of we were having dinner together. And one of my male friends just had this crazy emotional overreaction to something I said. I was talking about some supplements and that they found were some nutritional discovery that was helping people with cancer. And he just blew up and said, I don't want to hear about that. And that's terrible. And I have a relative who went natural and she didn't take chemotherapy and she died of cancer. I can't take that anymore. Don't say that. It was just totally threw it all over me. And everybody went, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then some guy said to me, don't you need to clear that with him? And I basically just said, no, I don't need to talk about it. He'll just get more defensive and justify it. Just recognize he's having a bad day. Okay, he's just having a bad day. I don't need to say much about it. But inside, I was feeling like, well, maybe I don't want to be friends with that guy anymore. Well, I created a space for him to not feel judged or blamed by me, which is this important message for women. Never feel blame or judge men. No woman doesn't want to be blamed or judged. Men don't want to be blamed and judged. That's not loving. So I just said, give it some time. And then what he did is he invited me to dinner. And I went, okay, I'll go. But, and then he made this whole dinner for me. And I suddenly he's my best friend again. He got my female side bonded with him. My emotional side let go and bonded because he did something for me. And he had the wisdom to feel bad about something and make it up to me by doing something nice. And then he did something nice for me. And my female side went, oh, okay, I love him again. He's a good buddy and he's good. So the key there is we have a male and female side. And for women to realize today, and you're independent, you're more on your male side, men can't bond with you when you're on your male side. They can only bond with your female side, which says, I'm open to receiving your support and your help. And I need your help and support, but I'm not needy. So boom, now we come to the big question, which every woman's asked me over the 40 years I've been doing this. What's the difference between needing a man, which is what is the biggest turn on to a man, is when he feels you need him for something, right, and being needy.
Right.
Okay, needy is I need help and I don't trust that I can get it. But so many times women are disappointed. They go, oh, I guess I'll do it myself, as opposed to being in touch with your need for a man and know that the men you're going to date for the next year aren't your soulmate. They're training you to practice the skills you'll learn from me and these other men. And in my books, Beyond Mars, Venus on a Date, you got to practice these skills. Don't naively think it's just about finding the right guy. Where do I find the right guy? It's not about that at all. You need to find the wrong guy, loosen up on the neediness where you're demanding him to be perfect, and create a series of positive dating experiences. So let me give one more piece on that. If you were coming to my house to buy the house,
right,
you would want to look at the basement and the cracks, and you would want to have people come and test it and what's wrong, what's good, does the air conditioning work, do the vents work, is there mold? You do all this testing. You would be hyper vigilant to test the worthiness of this house to purchase.
right.
Because you're thinking about buying it, and that would be reasonable. But if you're a guest at my house, you'll come in and you go, wow, this is the most beautiful house. Look at the view. Look at the windows. Look at the statues. Look at the carpet. Look at the couches. Oh, the arrangement. Look what you've done. I love your art. You would just have this wonderful time at my house because your brain was not vigilant. Is this the house I want to buy?
Right.
As soon as you start looking for your soulmate, the one you want to marry, the one you want to buy, in a sense, your brain becomes hyper vigilant to see what's wrong with them, and you're unable to see what's right with them. And when you create a series, when you're seeing what's right with them, they're not the right person yet. You're just seeing what's right with them. Then what happens is you create a series of positive dating experiences where you're connecting in the mind. You might open your heart with some. You might be sexual with some as well, but they're still not the right person. And you're patiently trusting that you're going to attract the right person into your life. You won't know who it is. It will surprise you sometimes. One of these people who are not the right person, they'll hit some little switch and you'll open up and you'll fall in love with them because they earned it. You went from your head to your heart to your sexual attraction. Then when you have all three, you're still not sure this is the one. You're just having a wonderful time with them. Then when you have all three, then something happens is we're able to see if they're the one. I call that spiritual connection. That's the one I want to share my life with. That's the sense of permanence. I want to continue with that person. That's a spiritual connection. You know, when you have a spiritual moment, you experience the eternity of life, that life is never ending. It goes on and on. That's one quality of spirituality. That's why when you have a spiritual connection with someone, you kind of feel like you want it to go on and on for a long, long time. So it's like the shift our whole orientation. Stop looking for the perfect one, but look for somebody that makes you feel safe, someone that makes you feel interested, interesting to you. And those two things are the key, is you feel safe to be yourself, to express yourself, and you find them interesting, and they find you interesting. Every man's job is that men are the opposite. If I'm a man, this is for women, of course, but it's good to know what goes on inside of men. Yes. The right woman for me, I always have to feel a sexual attraction for instantly. That's the right thing for a man. We're wired up from south to north. Women are wired up from north to south. You live in your head. You're always worrying about stuff, thinking about stuff, busy in your heads. Then we can go to our cave and forget everything. For a man, he has to first feel that attraction. And sexual attraction. If it's not there, it's never going to be there in most cases. Unless for me, if I was seeing a woman and I'm in a monogamous relationship, I will check out the women. If I say, could I have sex with that woman? I immediately, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. But I'm not going to feel anything because I'm guiding my sexual energy over here. But if I was a single guy, basically, I'm going to go into a room. And my job is to be feeling, who could I be compatible with sexually? So men basically go, I can have sex with her. I can have sex with her. I mean, in Hollywood, you'll see most of the women they put on the screen are women that most men would want to have sex with. That's just the way they do it. It immediately grabs a man's attention when sexual potential awakens a man's energy. Relationship material, romantic material, qualities, character, goodness, dedication. These are qualities in the mind. You say, oh, I'm drawn to this guy. I have admiration for him and so forth, safety. So women have their first healthy attraction is in the head, so to speak, then the heart, then the genitals, then the spirit. That's the keeper. Then you've got, for men, you start with a sexual experience. But then as you get to know her, you start to like her more. You feel interaction with her. And if you like her more and you enjoy her, getting to know her, doing things for her, if you can sustain the sexual attraction, then this is possible relationship. Then as you listen to her and you have mental connection and you can sustain your sexual attraction, then that's even a better sign she's the right person for you. So what women need to know is to make sure if this is the right, from the man's point of view, if you can share who you are mentally and share your needs on an emotional level, and he's there for you and he's still interested in having sex with you, that's the guy you want to have sex with if you're having the mutual connection. But the guy who just wants to, be romantic and jump right into bed and whatever, he doesn't know who you are. And it's not like he's faking it. This is all real, okay? He's feeling, I'm in love with you, you're fantastic. And then boom, he has sex, but he has no real emotional connection. He doesn't even know who you are. That relationship's not going to last. And you're going to easily misinterpret this man's behavior, because on some intuitive level, although women aren't conscious of it, on an intuitive level, women know that if they find the right guy and he's the catch, then they're going to get all sexually turned on. That's why celebrities will awaken sexual energy in women right away, rock stars and so forth. I mean, women ready to jump into bed. They're just feeling alive and everything because women are fantasizing, what if I was in a relationship with him? It's all fantasy, but she's still in her mind thinking about relationship and having the support. He's wealthy and rich. He could do this for me. Boom, all that sexual energy wakes up because they're in a fantasy of mental connection, heart connection, and then the sexual. I've talked to rock stars. I have friends, and they say, they used to have like 9 groupies. They all just line up to have sex. And he said, I finally gave it up. I just can't take one more disappointed woman. Because once they hit reality, when reality hits, she goes, he doesn't want me. He's the next woman. There's this fantasy he's going to want me, or at least he's going to be fantastic. And he's not. He's just this guy. So fantasy is one thing. You want to get out of fantasy before you actually have the physical connection with a man, because if a man has sex, he's just fantasizing, okay? It's not yet, there's no real mental connection. He hasn't heard how you think, how you feel, whatever. How many times have I been turned on to a woman because she was putting out messages that she wants to have sex with me, and I'm getting all turned on, and then I just have to be in a conversation with her, and I go, not her. There's a funny movie, just to make this point, of an older woman with a younger man, and she wants to have sex with him, and he starts talking. She says, don't talk and don't speak. Just don't speak. We'll just keep it down here in the sex center, because to sustain the sex, you need to have all 3 levels. And so the point of all those little stories is to help remember this main point. The general point is date not with the high expectations of the big list of everything you've got. Look at your list, look at how it makes you feel, and start looking for the non-soulmate. Be interested in having many, many dates, getting to know people, and practicing the many skills that we haven't gotten into, but we've hinted at. And one of those skills is to be authentic. Be authentic in sharing who you are. To adjust who you are in order to please someone, to get them to bond with you, means that when they discover who you are, they don't have any attraction for you. So the key is to put yourself out there, and not in a needy way.